Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and tonight, once again, as always, it's a special night. Wait, sorry, hang on, I'm double playing myself. Give me 1 sec. There we go. So I'd actually had the stream open on another tab, and I was just hearing myself just scream it. But welcome back, everyone. We're here for the grand finale of the season rankings of Australian Survivor. We finally reached number 1. Michelle, how are we feeling? Number 1, we finally reached the end.
I'm excited that we finally got to the end of this. Like, it's not as if we're ranking the 50 US seasons, because I wouldn't do that. But, you know, it's been a long time ranking these 10 seasons. 11? 10? I don't remember.
I think it's 11. Yes, no, it's 11. 11 seasons total. For 11 weeks, Michelle, we've gone week to week talking about each one of these very incredible seasons. But tonight is a little bit different because normally we're the ones talking about the season, right? You know, breaking down like everything that's happened, sharing our opinions. But why should we talk about this great season when there are 24 amazing people who can share all their great and special memories of the season? And let's bring on the Titan of all Titans. You know, she's stunning. She's incredible. She was a phenomenal player on the season. Everyone, please welcome the amazing Titan herself, Valeria. How's it going, Valeria?
Hi. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing so good, Valeria. How are you?
I'm very well. Super excited to be on today's live stream and obviously share all the fun moments of our season.
Yeah. Well, Valeria, you know, while you may be a Titan, there's a whole bunch of people willing to bring you down. You know, while you may rule this world, there are people wanting to break your rule. How rebellious of them. And as Gabe says, this season was so special because my mum was on it. Everyone, please welcome my mother from another world, universe. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's Hurricane Kelli. How's it going, Kelli?
How are you, Mucky? How are you, Michelle?
Good, good.
Great. How are you doing, Kelli?
Yeah, great. Fantastic. We're here.
Yeah. We're finally here, and I'm so honored.
We love talking. We love talking about
Why do I have all the special effect for you, Kelli? That's your job.
Oh, good, good. We'll just keep whooping all night.
Yes, Kelli, I have been out with you several times when you whoop all night. Yes.
It's just music to your ears, isn't it, Michelle?
Well, totally.
Gotta say, the very
Guys,
first
it's kind of
time.
triggering for me now. I feel like I'm back on the island.
Yeah.
Let's say, for Kirby's watch
Hey,
party.
Valeria, you need some therapy.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I got
With the trauma. With the
that's
trauma of
right.
that.
You appeared on our side of the island. I think I needed therapy from just that moment.
Surprise!
Well, speaking of surprise, you know, you might think they were bringing another rebel on, but he was not actually on this season. He's yet to appear on a season of Survivor because he's a great musician. Everyone, please welcome, randomly out of the blue, it's Elvis!
Yes.
Welcome to live stream, Elvis!
Oh,
Thank you very
are
much.
so hot, Elvis.
Mwah, I love my
thought you were
adoring
dead.
fans. Not just dead excited to be on this
You've aged
podcast.
well.
Busy going to 7-Elevens and things.
Yeah.
Well,
And you've even got the gum going there.
yeah, he's got the
Yeah, I want to be extra suave. I need to start. It's not caring less, but making people think that I care less.
Oh, God.
Well, speaking of people making them think they care less, we've got one final level to join us here. You know, I feel like if we had to do a season recap of the season, we couldn't do it without this lovely, handsome man. Everyone, please welcome the winner
It's me again.
of Titans vs. Rebels. It is Nash. Welcome to the live stream, Nash. So great to see you.
Oh, Nash.
What is going on, guys? I feel like I'm on an acid trip right now. Like,
Hey,
just-
Feras.
Hey, Valeria. Hey,
We meet
Kelli.
again.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Mucky. How are
Hey,
we?
good.
Doing so good. How are you doing, Feras?
I'm great, honestly. Not as good as Elvis over here, but Nobody's very funny. What's going on?
Oh gosh, I almost started crying when Raymond's camera
Jailhouse Rock.
turned on, and it's like the hat, the glasses, the shirt, everything. It's just beautiful. Top to
Can
bottom.
we just firstly acknowledge how like incredible these other three are as well? Like the fact that this just explains why this is the greatest season of all time. Like we have such characters on here, and it's so incredible to see. I love it.
Yeah.
Very beautiful speech by the winner of the season. Thank you.
Yeah.
Encore. I'm down for another compliment.
Well, I
We're
mean,
a
I
bunch,
guess it's,
of, a bunch of newbies, and the casting was phenomenal for this season, and that's one of the reasons why it was ranked so highly, because you all just gel really well, but you also rub each other up the wrong way, and you're just characters. It's great.
There is not a dud on our series. I think Times versus Rebels is the best cast of all time. Maybe Cagayan. Maybe even better than a lot of the returnee casts that I have seen as well. Times versus Rebels, special bunch.
Yeah.
well, I feel like the winner was a bit of a letdown, if I'm being perfectly honest. But apart from that,
Yeah, we don't want Ferris's head to swell too much.
No, it's already big enough.
What do you mean? I didn't win.
Ah,
Well,
dude,
I mean, I
so
guess
close,
it's,
Ray, so close. You're so close with it when you were starting fire. Look how close you are. You would have won.
I agree.
I should have come with a flamethrower. I think I'd still get beaten.
Yeah.
I guess let's talk about the season as a whole, right? Like, Valeria, I'd love to start off with you. The season aired a couple years ago. How has life been for you since the season has ended?
Life's been great. I feel like I'm always blessed with opportunities and people I meet and what I do with my life. And I feel like whatever my journey is, it's always elevate me to the next level. So I feel like Survivor was a great eye opener for a lot of like personal reflection to things, how I see things, how I pursue other people, how I pursue myself, my relationships with other people. So I felt like I grew personally from that experience. And I have a lot of questions still coming along saying, how was your experience? And I always say, literally one of my best experiences in my life. Like, I know people say like there's a lot of things, pros and cons, but honestly, out of just being pure positivity and the best outcome I possibly can have from my personal experience, I couldn't ask for better. So I feel like it's always changing. The life changing is good for me in any sort of way, but survival by itself as a game and as something important in my life that happened really gave me a very good self-reflection. So I feel like I'm only benefiting and just getting better with life and in life. So it's been really good. It's been a blessing.
Yeah. Well, Raymond, I feel like Survivor truly is like such a once in a lifetime of an opportunity and an experience. What's something, I guess, from the season that you took away?
Did you guys like on purpose asking me and Raymond so I can feel this sense of tension here?
Wait, what's going on?
The lyrics. This is why you're such a good player. You knew exactly what I was doing. I'm trying to.
I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm not.
I was hoping Valeria wouldn't recognize me.
I
So I wouldn't have to be answer these questions.
Yeah,
okay.
You can smell him, Valeria. Is that what you said?
Wait, what?
No basking on the island. She can still smell you, Ray.
I can still smell me. I haven't watched this Elvis costume and I've been wearing it non-stop.
Okay.
But yeah, one thing I took away from the island is practically every single souvenir I could get my hands on. Every single thing that wasn't nailed down, I tried to get the pots out. I tried to steal people's clothing. That's what I really took away from the island. But mentally, I can't really remember any of it.
Well, I guess I'll move on to you. Apart from the $500,000, which congratulations on winning. How has the season, I guess, like like change you as a person?
Yeah, look, it was a huge eye-opening experience for myself, and I'm sure everyone else. I learned so much. I've never been so patient in my life. Like, I think what the show taught me was a crap load of patience, Valeria. Yeah, you need a lot of patience, Valeria. Dealing with
On the
these
show or after the show?
No, on the show, I needed patience.
Oh, that was patient. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to learn the new meaning behind word patient.
Yeah, on the next season of All Stars, we'll show each other some patience for the first time. But yeah, no, I definitely learned a lot from the experience. I'm so grateful for all the people that I spent it with. But all in all, it honestly gave me a good hard look at myself. Like, as much as it was such an awesome viewing experience, it also made me really critical of myself and how I can appear sometimes without even knowing. But yeah, no, I feel like I've definitely matured and grown from the experience, and so excited to still be involved in the community and like watching the new seasons as well. But yeah, I feel like on to bigger and better things, sort of working on a bit of radio, podcasting, trying to get more of my personality out there. I think is what I really want to work on. And yeah, hoping nothing but the best for what's to come.
Hey, you know, you asked me that question.
Oh, Jesus.
That's my answer as well, except better.
Hang on. I just want to say, Feras, I just think it's great that your radio show that you have representing, you guys that hasn't been on radio in Australia. And I love that. And I love listening to you two because you're absolutely hilarious. And you say the weirdest things and talk about buses and just strange things in general. But it's like, if I find out you're suddenly on, like you were on the other day, and I'm like, you're not supposed to be on now. They must have put you on. And I was like, oh, good. I can listen to you guys in the car. I don't have to listen to boring radio.
Awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a positive step, I reckon, for just the entertainment industry as well. Like just me and Yaz were sitting the other day, and we were like, the fact that there's 2 Arabs on the radio right now is absolutely insane. And we're just trying to sort of push that positive mindset that we're all everyday Aussies at the end of the day. And I feel like the more people understand and listen to how we sort of interact with each other, it's pretty much the same as everyone else, but publicized. But yeah, no, it's awesome. I'm super grateful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Can I say one clip that always gets me rolling, Feras, is when you ask Alexa to bark like a dog, and she says, "Would you like me to bark again?" And yes, because I was saying again.
Yeah. No, we get pretty crazy with things, but yeah, it's just a bunch of immaturity, to be honest. Boys being boys, I guess.
Yeah. And how about you, Kelli? Obviously, coming into Game of Survivor as a psychologist, would you say that leaving the game enhanced your skills as a psychologist? Did it maybe made you realize you do need to like work on certain aspects or skills? Like, how did you leave the game?
Sorry?
She made everyone crazy. She was that professional. Everyone was going insane around her.
Well, that was the purpose.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you need to have, like, be very, very skilled at psychology to have that implication. Like, the average person could never make me anywhere near as paranoid as Kelli made me while out there. It takes good understanding of the human brain to be able to do that.
Well, that was the purpose, right? Because I had to be as far removed from my profession as I could. So I just figured annoying the crap out of everyone and making, especially Feras, paranoid was a whole lot of fun to be had. I had to, put bombs on myself and really distract people from the real issues that were going on. But yeah, I left the island a very different person. I left the island realizing how much I miss my baby Bobby, and Feras has heard a lot about Bob, and so has Ray. He's with me everywhere I go. I come off the island with really bad hair. I must admit, my hair was disgusting, but that's probably most women come off the island with bad hair. Look, I do believe that Survivor changed me irreversibly forever. People people think that's just conversation that people make, but it's actually true, and everyone here has said it tonight, that Survivor has an incredible way of getting in your soul, and once you've been changed, it's irreversible. So for me, Survivor, living on an island with nothing was my greatest mission. It was on my bucket list. I told the production that if they didn't put me on the island, then I was going to just jump out of a helicopter in the middle of the bush somewhere and find my way out. So I think they thought, this woman's crazy enough to do that, we'll put her on. But yeah, it was a part of my bucket list. So I think Survivor, it wasn't just a bucket list item, but it was a big one. And it's made me in so many ways, even though I was already resilient as a person, it made me ultra resilient. So nothing bothers me anymore.
Yeah. Well, can I say, Kelli, the job market is really tough. And I think it is a great skill on creating clients as well as serving clients. So I feel like out there, you did a great job of doing both.
I made a lot of money for psychology out there. Is that what you're saying, Feras?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
look,
I guess
had to do everything opposite. Like, I had to do the extreme of what I could imagine. And yes, I do know people very well. I've been doing this job for 34 years. So I all I did is sit there the whole time and just read what they were doing, what they were doing and what for. And I just made sure I just threw in bombs so that people really were distracted. And that was my whole purpose, just to distract everyone from the real issue that was going on, which was, don't vote me off the island. That was the real issue.
Yeah. And just a very quick special shout out to Brendan as well, Australian Survivor memes. Kelli reminded me so much of Captain Jack Sparrow, charismatic, unpredictable, and intentionally chaotic.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. And
Chaos
Kelli,
is my middle name. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, I guess speaking of chaos, like right at the very beginning of the game, I feel like majority of the action is happening on the Rebels tribe. And I'd love to hear from you and you as well, Raymond, about the Feras and Kirby rivalry that was forming. You know, it's like just a constant tension building up and up and up. And I'll start with you, Kelli. How did you kind of see that rivalry form?
I was close to both Feras and Kirby on the island, so it was really hard for me, as you know, and Ray, and it was really hard being in a Rebels tribe, loving all these people. But yeah, it wasn't straight away with Feras and Kirby. It didn't start off on day one. It was a slow bit of a slow burn in the beginning. But yeah, Kirby was a little bit paranoid. Like, she was like always saying to me, Feras is out to get me. Feras is going to get me. And I'm always reassuring her, no, Feras is not out to get you. But Kirby was convinced that Feras had this great grand plan to take her out. And so that was probably about, I don't know, guys, if you remember, probably about day 9. I'd say.
No, it was way later because we first went to tribal on day. We first went to tribal on day 9. That was our first vote out. So it would have been like day 15. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, it would have been basically the week of you getting sent over to the Titans tribe that we were actually those two started getting a little bit more funny. But
yeah, when I came back, it was just total chaos had occurred. I was like, you did all the chaos without me? What?
Yeah. And how about you, Raymond? You know, obviously, you know, while Kelli chose Kirby, you chose Feras. What made you choose Feras over Kirby?
Well, the thing is, Kirby is a very, very, very good social player. But Feras is someone that I could believe. Like, he didn't lie to me. I'm very much someone, and not that Kirby ever did or many of the others, but there's certain things that you can throw out into the world and the reactions that you get, the way that people treat it, you can get a read on people. And pretty early on, I knew that I could trust Feras very early on. So there's just, certain things like that. But he's also a good guy. And, I mean, Kirby's a great person. The Rebels tribe full of really great people.
Yeah.
I think we all loved Feras from day one. I was on the boat with Feras. I knew he was a rebel.
I pretty much like everyone on that Rebels tribe. I think that they're all stars. Like you could bring back anyone from the Rebels tribe on an all-star season, and there's a good chance that they will be the star of the show. And Valeria. Valeria. Sorry, I'm sucking the Rebels' dick right here. I should Valeria's also very talented as well. She's very good at the game.
Well, Feras, your dynamic with Kirby pretty much sums up this entire season, right? This whole season kind of revolves around you and Kirby, and I'd love to hear, like Kirby's been kind of shifty and is actively targeting you. Like, how were you trying to manage your threat level, but also like dodging the attacks of Kirby at the same time?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Me and Kirby were actually quite close from the beginning. We were always the ones staying up at night and sort of maintaining the fire. So we got really, really close every single night. And then, just randomly, I think her target just like shifted on me. I remember even being really confused and asking Scott, being like, "Why me? Like, what's going on?" Like, I was so confused, and I think she just got really sus about me from when we had the treasure hunt, which is all fair in game. I think from then on, when she shifted her target on me, it was sort of like, well, I got to sort of punch back. I'm not going to just let her go for me. And then from then on, that's just when it all started. We were quite close from the beginning until the first vote. She didn't vote with us, and then I just started to get really sus from her, and then all of a sudden she started fighting me. So then I was just like, okay, well, we just have to fight back. It was honestly. Sorry, yeah.
There you go. No, I was going to say, the real thing is there's 12 people on the tribe. We're all trying to play a game. We all have different ideas of playing the game. I really think that the thing that made Feras and Kirby get like a little bit at each other's throats is Garrick. And you guys don't really see Garrick's game, but Garrick's game was trying to like weave his way in doing things. And Garrick actually was like, he said, "Oh, Kirby, she's doing X, Y, and Z." And this was making Feras paranoid and driving a wedge between those two. Quite frankly, what really started, I believe, is Garrick's game. And you didn't really see Garrick's game, but Garrick is a very clever person. He's very good at the game. It's just a plethora of people trying to play their own version of this game and doing it very well. But I reckon it's Garrick.
And Ray, Garrick was very good at coconut. Yeah.
Oh, he was great. He was great at chopping coconut. Yeah, but that's one of the assets that he brought to the Rebels tribe, why a lot of people didn't target him. He built that shelter. He was cutting coconut for everyone. Great social game, really good survivor player. I hope he gets a chance to come back. Love to see what Garrick can do.
I agree. I think Garrick was a huge driving factor to that as well. But in the end, he sort of did stick with me. But he was that person that was sort of re-insinuating everything about the whole Kirby situation. He definitely added fuel to the fire as well. But at the end of the day, I think why our dynamic was so cool is that we could sort of separate the game because we had so much in common, and we genuinely had a fun and easygoing relationship until we had to go to tribal council, and that's when we were at each other's throats. But all it was, it's pretty friendly. It was awesome.
Well, just before we move over to the Titans tribe, Kelli, I have to ask you this because I rewatched this episode last night. The Tobias photo episode,
right?
With the planners, the girls on Alex, boys on Tobias, and you flip your vote to Tobias. And I'd just love to hear from you, like in that moment, you and Alex, like you have like this beef, but it's kind of like a love-hate kind of relationship. What made you want to keep Alex so much over Tobias?
So all day, and you've probably heard this before, but all day I had been telling fairy tales to Sarah, and I was explaining to... I'm a storyteller, right? I'm a narrator. That's what I do. It's what I do for a job. So I was narrating to Sarah about
all I remember when he tried to tell the poem to Sarah, and it was like, it's like it goes in this poem. I can't remember how it goes, but anyway.
Yeah.
Amazing
So that
story.
was after.
Amazing. That was so good. That was my favorite.
The best.
That was so you have no idea. You people have no idea except
Can I actually, again, I'm going to try and explain this. So Kelli is a very good psychologist. No, let me explain this. So the way that psychologists work is if you can convince someone that they've come up with an idea themselves, then you can make them go implement it. So I think that Kelli's idea through all this cryptic stuff was trying to get Sarah to believe something along the lines of this. If you can make someone believe something, then it can happen. And it's through like poems, it's through all this stuff that's not making sense to Sarah. But Kelli is thinking that she's trying to make Sarah believe something and trying to do it in a way where she can come to her own conclusions and think that it's her own conclusions. That's how psychologists work. That's what a lot of it does. And that's what Kelli was trying to do, but it wasn't working. And that's the problem. And it's coming across as craziness. But there's method to the madness.
We love Sarah to death, but the reason why it didn't work is because Sarah had never listened to fairy tales, right? She never
That's not the reason.
never understood the metaphor. She never understood the metaphor of Snow White and the temptation of the apple, which was Tobias. So anyway, Sarah and I laugh about this now, and I promised her on the birth of her baby that I am getting her Snow White for her baby, and she is going to read her baby fairy tales. This is it, because it's obviously a metaphor. Like, so fairy tales are a metaphor for life. And so I was trying to explain about Tobias. He was the temptation, and that I knew that they were a very tight pair, right? It was obvious. So we had a duo so early on in the game. So I knew I just needed to explode that duo and get rid of them, because I knew that Alex and Tobias weren't actually close. Really? Sarah was close with Tobias, and Sarah and Alex weren't that close. So we all knew that Sarah was going to vote off Alex and keep Tobias. And you know, you probably know me by now enough that you know that that's really boring for me, that I don't do boring very well. So I had to decide, like, hours and hours all day, that I was just going to take control into my own hands, and I was just going to do what I wanted to do and throw bombs in and just make the decision, because I didn't want the decision going to Sarah, because for me as a game player, that was too boring. And I don't do boring. So but then what you didn't see is after that vote, I mean, you did see a little bit of it, Valeria, when I had to do that, but that was 8 hours of anguish. Everyone hated me. Everyone didn't trust me. You boys know it. Everyone was angry. Everyone was like, Kelly's crazy. Kelly's stupid. She doesn't listen.
The aftermath of that night. The aftermath of that night is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is the funniest moment of my life. Kelli is standing here, like we're right near where we dump our torches, and Kelli is trying to explain to Scott why she changed the vote, and it's just like this massive communication. It's the funniest thing. Look, Sarah's on the beach. Sarah's on the beach crying. And you're trying to explain to Scott why you did it, and you're like, yeah, but now Alex is under my thumb. Now I can do whatever Alex will do whatever I want because I saved his life. And then Alex comes out of nowhere because it's pitch black and says, "I've listened to this entire conversation. I'm not gonna side with you." Walks off, and then Kelli, you just like turn to Scott and you're like, "I think I made a mistake." It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the funniest thing I've ever. I wish that the aftermath of that night was shown, because it is the most that I have ever been entertained in my life. I think about that night so often. And Sarah's sitting there on the beach, and she's absolutely distraught because she thinks that everyone is screwing with her. It's not the idea that she's been betrayed, but it's this idea that like everyone's promised her that something's going to happen and that didn't happen, and she thought that all of us were like ganging up against her. So she is so paranoid on that night sitting on the beach.
I'm getting trauma,
it's just like it's so much chaos going on, and I'm just standing there like watching it all. It's the funniest I ever laughed that night. Also, can I just say, yes, Sarah's got a baby on the way. She's going to be the absolute best mother. I am so excited for her.
She's going to read fairy tales. She's promised me, and so in the future, like, if any of those stories come out, you know that it's because of me with her child. But like, it really was.
I think it's because of just normal parenting.
Look, it was very hard. It wasn't a hard decision in that I'd been trying to convince Sarah to be careful that there was a witch coming, and the witch was in fact a metaphor for Tobias. So and I also knew that Sarah was going to be voted out fairly soon as well, because of the Cuddle Crew. So basically, I wanted to answer your question, Mucky. I wanted to bomb the Cuddle Crew, and I bombed it. And then I had the big bomb.
Now.
The big target on my back. I couldn't remember, Valeria. I couldn't remember. It was like too much chaos for 8 hours. I was like, what's that friggin' thing? Break your heart today, whatever. But, you know, people have come back afterwards and helped me remember, which was really lovely. The fans have done that. So that's been very helpful. But I had to come up with
Kelli,
everything.
you were the most, you were the star. You were the absolute star of the first half of this series. This series would not be number one on the Mucky and Michelle podcast if it wasn't for you. You brought that early season is all you. You are one of the in Survivor history, and I've seen a lot of Survivor, and it was an honor to be on that tribe with you.
Oh, you're so sweet, Ray. But Feras, we had a lot of fun, didn't we, doing acro and, doing all that crazy stuff, playing games, playing Twister. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. Good
I
time.
have a question for Valeria.
Yes.
You guys should probably ask Valeria a few questions.
It was an honor to start with the Titans Island.
Yeah.
Valeria, before the season began, when your promos were up, everyone looked at you, and because I'm on the Australian Survivor fans group, everyone saw you as a beautiful model. You won't do well, because they judge books by their cover. But as soon as I looked at your profile and found out you were Russian, I was like, oh, people know she's going far. She's Russian. I've got Russian friends, and it's black and white. It's straight down the line. You will get far. It doesn't matter what you look like if you're Russian. And I was telling everybody this, and they're going, no. Because look at her. She doesn't have a brain in her head. I'm like, she's Russian. Did you, when you got on the beach, did you feel that was the perception of you as well, in that, oh, she's beautiful, she may not get very far? What did you think?
Yeah, you know what, you're so spot on with this, because when I got into the game, I felt people were kind of looking kind of from the outside perspective towards me, not as a potential player to align with. Not that I really cared. I'll just whoever is lovely. That will be easier. But I knew the perception's always like this at the start, so I never take it serious. I never like read into it and I get frustrated. I knew that, and I felt how people kind of looking at me. Even with Mark, he shared his notes after we played the game, and we were at the jury villa on the last day. He opened his notes. He's like, Val, like on the day when we were actually shooting the promo, you were the only one that didn't give any eye contact. We like all trying to look at each other and say hi. And I was like, mate, we were told not to look at each other. Do not communicate. We're filming promo to make sure there is no like initial introduction before you get into the game. So I was just playing by the rules. But even at that moment, he said, you were the only one that didn't look at anyone. And I put you below anyone else, like on the side, saying like this person 100% not a one to play the game well. She's got no clue and she's got no social skills whatsoever. So even Mark's perception was very different. I was like reading this, I was like, man, that sounds really bad. But the interesting part, it literally takes me probably, I don't know, a few minutes of conversation. So I'm never serious about it. I never care how it starts, because I know how it can end up. I know my self-worth in terms of my way of how to build relationships with people. I love people. It will take its turn. It will take time. Even like the guys were saying in the game, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks later, he's like, you're such a slow burn. Like, that's why I learned this word in English. I didn't know what slow burn is. And they say, well, what's the slow burn is? It's like it's a person just like developing into something deeper. And I was like, you know, it's exactly how it is. And through the game and the way I changed the perception of how people looked at me. I think it's been very clear that I'm probably not the case that people were expecting me to be in the game, which I love. I like to be underdog in that way. Sometimes to surprise people or not having too much expectations from the side. It could have, it could play my way. Even I think Feras said that I was a dark horse at like probably episode 18 or something. We were playing and you randomly said this. I was like, you know what? People are still looking at me, seeing something that probably is hard to see from the start. But said it's just time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I love so much about your game, especially at the start of Valeria, is that I feel like the whole season, like, because I feel like the first couple votes really sets up the theme for tribal councils, right? Are we going to be getting rid of the strong? Are we going to be getting rid of like the weak, the strategists, etc.? But you guys chose to vote off Frankie first, and it was such a weird like parallel between your both tribes because you guys vote off Frankie, the rebels vote off Peter, and then it's like Jess goes out, and then like Nathan goes out, but it's all slowly building up for internal warfare between Feras and Kirby, and obviously between like you guys and Caroline as well. And I'd love to know how was navigating that first part of the game, like what made you want to take out Frankie first, like over Jess?
Frankie honestly was the easiest vote, not because we saw her as a strong player. She was just someone that started very strong, not in the right way. You know what I mean? She was coming with full energy. Like, for example, the boys would do something like you saw. Our shelter was the worst shelter in the whole history of Australian Survivor, which I can confirm it was pretty bad job. But anyway, no one knew what we're doing. We're all newbies, and we're building it as much as we can, and everyone trying to do what they can. And then the boys trying to do some work. We went through there struggling. Frankie can come in and trying to overtake and tell them what to do and stuff. So the boys kind of felt a bit threatened by the character that you like. These qualities are great when you like somewhere in the middle of the game. You need to go kind of set back and be a little bit quieter with how you want to approach. So her being a very strong character, I think she started way too strong in the moments where it doesn't really require right at the very start. So for us, it was very it was an easy vote because she kind of put this pressure on all of us in a way. Like even on my first day when we were doing this run into the water to build a fire to burn this voodoo thing that they made. I was trying to do the running part, and I'm a fast runner, so I stood at the end trying to run, but I said we need more people, and she shut me down. She was like, "No, this is where you stay. And by the way, can you run?" I was like, "Yeah, you sure?" I was like, "Come on, you're questioning me." Like we in the game, we just started. You just destroyed any opportunity for me to even like you now, because she wanted to win, so she was so strong on the target. So in the game at the very start, it's very a sour field to go into. So it was a very easy vote. Everyone felt the same across the same way. But I said if she would only stay there, bide her time for a little bit and be somewhere mid-game forward, oh my God, she would be a pleasure to watch because this woman will destroy anyone.
Yeah. Well, I would love to hear your opinion because when you guys all swap, all four of you are actually on the same tribe. And I'd love to know what was your, I guess, reaction to seeing Feras, Kelli, and Raymond all on your swap tribe.
Okay,
yeah, I'm all ears. I want to.
Oh my God. Well, Kelli was something else. You know, hearing his beautiful voice in the middle of the night. And I think this is one of my first nights that I actually could fall asleep. But I couldn't after I heard her voice. I honestly thought because we have wild pigs in the area, I thought they're making noises because what else would scream so high pitch, right? We don't have anyone high pitch in our little tribe that we made. We're all friendly. We're together. We're all speaking. And when I heard the voice, I thought it was wild pigs. And then I realized, oh my God, it's a human. And someone coming, and then now we have to wake up. And I swear, everyone is trying to like communicate to Kelli. I was like, Kelli, what can you say? What you can do? How's the tribe on the other side? I was like next to Viola and Mark, and I was like, listen, I pretend that I'm dead asleep. You know? I will be very, very social, but tomorrow. She's got so much energy, and she's done it on purpose. Like when she starts talking and doing things, she sucks the energy out of you naturally. Like she's got this gift that
Ray told me to do that, Valeria. Ray's parting words. Valeria, Ray's parting words were, Kel, keep them awake and make them really tired. So
yeah, and you didn't do it. You were the complete opposite of how you were on our tribe at their tribe. You should have. You were going psychological warfare on our tribe. You gave them a nice time. I rewatched that episode. I rewatched.
Ray,
I rewatched. Wait, what?
You told me to keep them awake. That was your party.
Yeah, and you didn't.
Get the time swap.
But you didn't. You should have gone harder.
No, that was enough.
Telling you how hard I went.
She's done enough. She's done enough damage.
No. She could have done more. She could have done a lot more. She was lenient.
Yeah, and I guess with Feras and Raymond, it was a bit easier. We liked Raymond from the other side of the tribe, but just the way he is. He didn't show any, signs of being as intimidating player that would like build relationships with someone specific so they can build. Like he seems like just a person that would be friendly, and then it would be easier to form alliance and stuff. So from Raymond, we didn't feel anything that will be intimidating into that game or something that would potentially will turn into some disaster. Feras, it's interesting looking at it now, whether it's Feras or Kirby, when it comes to like personal skills to get to know one each other and like on personal level, both were really good and lovely. Personally, it was very hard to even choose which side because we had to pick one side because it was very outnumbered. Honestly, like at this stage, I don't think I would really care because both had really strong values, which is very important to stick to, and they're just good core people. When you have a good core, a lot of things can go really well in the game. So yeah, honestly, it was very it was a tough choice for us because I said we were outnumbered, so we had to make our decisions based on a day and a half that we had. So I think the only thing that turned me off Feras took over the boys to make the decision on our behalf, and me and the two boys were trying to kind of align and then have opinion, three of us separately as a team. And because Feras didn't really worked with me in terms of getting into his side of things, most likely if he would have worked his way and his charm, most likely would have gone to his side of camp.
Yeah. Well, with me, it's not really about his charm; it's about his bicep.
There was not much work done on me. Okay, so next time do better.
That is fair.
Yeah.
No, Mucky, it wasn't his biceps. It was
it's always my Feras' biceps.
It was the hair. No, it was the hair. Every time he did that thing with the hair, every woman around me would just go, "Geez, my God, look at that! Can you do it again? Can we rewind and do it again?"
Valeria's immune to the charm. Valeria's she's a whole different ball game. Valeria, she's a completely different woman. But yeah, no, I think she's spot on, to be honest. I think how I saw it was that Kirby was getting really close with Valeria, so it was more so of well, if Kirby's going for Valeria and she's getting very close with Valeria, I need to try and get close with the boys. And the way I saw it was, well, it's Valeria, Winner, and Charles. If I can just get in with Winner and Charles while Kirby tries to get in with Valeria, maybe I can win over a majority of the group. But I think I think Valeria's spot on as well. They seemed so convincing as well, and I think it did seem like that they were still trying to toss up who they wanted to go with. I honestly don't blame. I think the smarter move was to go with Kirby's crew, just in terms of numbers, so that it was even. So completely understand the gameplay move, but yeah, no, it's funny watching it back, understanding how much more you could have done just to sort of sway a small decision. But I guess, it's for the future. Maybe Valeria can give me a second chance.
All right.
And how about you, Kelli and Raymond?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I'm in that position to get a second chance from Valeria.
You're out first, Raymond. If it's ever on with you, Valeria's just coming for you straight away.
I need to wait a while before going back there.
Just to add to it, Valeria and I, we've had conversations, I think, deeper into the game that we did get into, and we found that we had so much more in common than we actually thought. Even though we were sort of trying to bite each other's heads off at Tribal, the more we sort of got deeper into it, we realized, well, this could have been an awesome alliance because we're both fiercely loyal. It's just too far gone into it. But yeah, no, it's something that could have been awesome as well. So you never know.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about the game and like all the fun moments and stuff. And I was like, the weirdest moment in Survivor, which no one ever really emphasized on, it's when the tribal council is finished and it didn't work as per the plan as what you're thinking the end would be. So now you're going back to the camp with the people that you thought you will never see again. Yeah. And you have to be really close because we're walking in the dark and we could fall at any moment. So you're kind of holding towards each other. Then you have to go to sleep together. Then you wake up and you have to sort your shit together in this functional married survivor family. Yeah. And you make it work. And you know what? Out of everyone, Feras was the best with this because everyone was super awkward. Like the awkwardness is there. But Feras was like, guys, I respect this decision. I think it was great. I fully support it. If I was in your place, I would be saying, let's do it again. He was the best at it, smoothing the corners, because this is the most awkward moment in entire game is coming back from the trouble because you're like, your heart is going crazy. You've got too many thoughts. You're not allowed to speak to each other. You're only allowed to speak once you're in the middle of that night that it's like pitch black and you're about to go to sleep because you need to be fresh for the next morning. Where you feel so crap about the whole thing. And I was like, my God, I have to sort this thing out, and like we need to make it work. And there is no a family council to kind of sort this all out for us.
Yeah. Well, how was it?
But I think
the game
was jury management, total jury management, making everyone feel good about what they decided so that no one's angry. Well, Feras isn't angry with anybody for any moves that may have happened that he didn't like, but always say, oh, you tried it well, you did a good move. Yeah, that didn't work out. So that when they get to the jury, if they get to the jury and you're there, you've got some good relationships there that, oh, he was nice to me. He's got a good strategy, but he was nice to me. She wasn't nice to me. It's plain and simple, and Feras played that really well. And it's not.
No, it's coming from the human resources, position.
What you don't realize, though, that there's a whole other layer to it. So not only is there that side where you want the vote, but at the last tribal council, people are going to be fighting for you if they like you. They're going to be answering questions that pander to you. They're going to be asking questions if someone's there that they don't like that makes someone else give a bad answer, or like that's just it. It's not only trying to get the vote, but it's trying to make people really like you, so they're there fighting for you on that jury.
Yeah,
so many layers that you need to consider.
And the game moves so fast,
very fast.
After the tribal council, after that person's voted out, it's like bang, next. So it's like you don't realize. I mean, I suppose you can see it as a fan, but even for us in the game, it's moving and twisting and turning even within the day. Like you think, oh yeah, okay, this is our plan, this is where we're going, and then suddenly something happens, a hurricane or something happens, and then the game moves again. So like it's constantly changing, and it's really rapid. It's not like a game of chess where you're playing really slow. This is a very fast game of chess.
Well, speaking of playing really fast, one of my favorite tribal councils is the poor twist that screwed over Charles. where
poor
Feras and
bastard.
Valeria, you guys especially, are really beefing it out at this tribal council. I'd love to hear from all of you. How was the feeling competing for your vote and immunity at that tribal?
I'm really angry because they didn't show me actually helping out Feras trying to get the blocks. So Eileen did it very quickly, like pretty much instantly. And then I can't remember who else did it, but then it
And
was
Ray,
like
you
between,
knocked down my blocks, remember? Ray knocked down
I
my
did knock
blocks.
down your block. Well, I realized pretty early I was not going to be winning this challenge, but I think that, and I hope it doesn't sound arrogant, but like Feras was there and I was helping him grab blocks, and just like in a challenge like that, it's only a few seconds that really makes a difference. Just like a little bit of help when you're going up against all these people. And I mean, all we needed was 2 votes. I wish that they'd shown that, because I think that that was really important as to why Feras won that. And his great skill at aiming and stuff like that. But yeah, I wish they'd shown that.
Yeah, well,
That
first,
night was my favorite night, I think, in one of my favorite nights in the game, because it brought you back to reality really fast. And I think this is like a good snippet of Survivor game, that when you think you know what's going to happen, it's never going to work. Never be confident in what's about to happen, because it's not working. So we were walking into this tribal council thinking we've got this together. Like before, maybe, but now we're like we all had the balls. We all get all the confidence that this thing is going to be the best move of this season, until we got this stupid game that we had to play. It was probably like 2 a.m. at night. Like it was pitch black.
Oh my God.
Wait, what was this great move?
Valeria,
What was this great move?
Were we trying to take out Eileen that night? I'm trying to remember. Who were we trying to take out that night?
It was either Eileen or Feras.
That's right.
It was depending on, I think, the last bit of it. But the crazy part is when they said like now, and actually, you know what? Before this, I was much quieter in the game, but now we're getting our confidence. You know, like, you know what? Time for me to talk. Let me speak my mind. And the moment I speak my mind, I realized that I was like, man, I'm out. See you later. And with this game they introduced, I'm really bad. I'm good with pressure when it comes to like mental games, like to sort something out. But when it comes to physical, I'm too shaky. So when they announced there would be a game, we have to throw something, I was like, man, I'm gonna go. I mean, I had the most amazing experience. I said a few words. We had a beautiful chat with Feras, and this is the end. Thank you very much.
We just all thought it could be one of us, hey. We all just thought it's going to be one of us. We could all be out now. It was actually a total shock. I remember looking around all of us. And
you know what they didn't show? They didn't show one part. So when me and Feras were going back and forth, Feras then gave us the last chance. He was like, guys, this is like the last moment. Who is willing to work with me? And Winner was, trying to kind of support the whole thing. And he said, you know what, Charles, you and Val just say yes. Charles was like, you know what, we're willing to work. And I was like, no, I'm not willing to work with you. And the winner was like, you idiot, what are you saying? I was like, come on, like, once I say something out loud, I'm too proud to go back. I was like, man, if you shoot me like this, at least I'm going to stand to the words that I said. So I was like, I am not working with you ever. Like, you just shot yourself in the food. I was like, I know. I was like, I can't go back. I'm too proud.
Yeah.
I thought
The thing is, if you actually crunch the numbers on that tribal, the likelihood that either Eileen, Feras, or I win that challenge out of all the scenarios, just due to the fact that we only have 3 people versus like their whatever it was trying to get us out, the likelihood of one of like 2 of us winning that challenge out of all the scenarios is less than 1%. It's actually insane that happened. I was looking around. I was like, man, is this challenge rigged or something? Like, how the heck is that even possible? It is so unlikely. I was looking at it. Nah, that thing wasn't rigged. I just blows my mind that something that has like a 1% chance or less than a 1% chance of happening actually happens. That night was actually insane. That is so unlikely.
Well, if you look at the 2 challenges that Feras won, it was this one and the final immunity. So I don't know. There might be.
He won a bunch as a group of us on the Titans on the Rebels tribe.
Good on you, Feras.
Yeah.
It's why I got back to the gym, guys. I'm trying to redeem myself.
Yeah, and actually, just while we're on the topic here, great question from Tom. Hello, Tom. Question for Feras: did you sandbag in immunity challenges to lower your threat level going into the merge? I thought you killed the challenges, and by the end, I thought you had no chance to win the final 3, and yet you killed it.
Honestly, I was up against some insane competitors, so there is no way I can say I sandbagged myself. Like when you're up against people like Rihanna hanging from a rope, you're just not going to win. Like especially a guy my size, I'm just not going to win a lot of those challenges. So definitely, like I definitely think that I could have pushed myself more. I think how I push myself depends on who I'm up against. So, in terms of, the final immunity, I knew I was at such a huge disadvantage with my weight that I needed to make sure I won. Whereas if I was up against, Rihanna or something, I probably would have assessed my strategy from then on. So I think it was just assessing what I am putting energy into and what I'm not putting energy into. But no, I definitely wouldn't say that I could have done incredibly way better. That's, I was up against some fierce competitors, so it is what it is.
You're getting so little food out there that there's no point in wasting energy if you're just gonna wind up losing a challenge anyway. You have so little food out there. So
like, don't get me wrong. Like
no point.
If we saw a rope challenge, walking into the challenge, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna give it my all. So but yeah. I think even if I did give it my all, I probably still wouldn't have won. But I think just trying to save my energy for the right things is what I sort of focused on.
Yeah, and just before the merge, we do lose poor Hurricane Kelli. And I remember all the promos was, watch out, Hurricane Kelli's coming. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like the move of the century. And then you get taken out, Kelli. How did this all happen?
Well, clearly everyone knows. Sorry?
Explain yourself.
Well, clearly everyone knows I was very conflicted. So I had an internal conflict between, obviously early in the game, I was, Feras, Ray, all of us were kind of aligned. I go over to Titans as my tribe swap, come back, and everyone's just, changed everything. So I was very devastated at that point. And I was really sad because it was really completely split. So then when we swapped again and we actually dropped our buffs, obviously I'm really split between Kirby and Ray. And I originally clearly had an alliance with all of Feras, Ray, Eileen. But then when my alliance felt stronger to Kirby, and then I just kept feeling conflicted the whole time. And then basically Kirby suggested, I think it was Kirby that suggested it, that it's time, we've got to take out Ray. He's closest to Feras. I think because we couldn't take out Eileen because of what happened, so then we flipped to Feras. And I remember it was Winner, Valeria, Kirby and Scott just all telling me, that's it, Kelli, it's time. And I just said, no, no, I'm not doing it. So I knew that it was, risky, but I thought I had a relationship with Feras and Eileen and Ray, which was still existing. But in the end, I took the sword and, Ray's. I say in my song Rebel Kel is that the warmth on the island. It's a metaphor for Ray giving me the shirt, which I obviously still have.
I still have it on you. Oh, nice.
Go on, wear it. Wear it.
And people don't understand. I got offered $1,000 by Johnny Fairplay to sell this. A bit more Australian in America, and I refused to do it because loyalty is worth a lot on this game, and for me, I'm a very loyal person in general, and loyalty is worth a lot. And I just couldn't do it, and I refused to listen to the second time. I refused to listen to what my alliance was telling me, and the rebel in me just came out, and I just said no. So there you go.
Was
I
there
wish
any
you'd
part of
stayed for the entire game. I
Yeah.
really wish you
We would
had.
have had a ball.
Yeah,
We
Kelli,
would've.
was there any was there any chance of maybe just leaving Kirby entirely like earlier to stay with Ray, Feras, and Eileen? Did they ever cross your mind, or were you just that locked in with Kirby?
Look, I saw Kirby on the beach the first day, and I just thought, beautiful Aboriginal woman. You know, I just want to align with her. I mean, obviously, you know, for me, I made that choice. But then as the time went on, you know, because I'm very loyal, this is my problem. And I was devastated. If Kirby was with Feras and Ray, my whole life would have been wonderful. You know, it would have been the best alliance ever. But look, at that last minute, I did decide to leave Kirby because I felt like she was emerging as particularly, I talked about the King and the Queen, and I talked about Feras and Kirby in confessionals, and I said they're emerging as two leaders, and I was ready to leave Kirby at that point, but it didn't work, and that's okay. The game unfolds how it's meant to unfold. You can't have any regrets in your life. So yeah, I don't regret that decision, and I obviously in my heart I wish that Feras and Eileen and everyone would have thought, yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, and then we could take out Kirby. I mean, I thought it was a good idea, but at the end of the day, it didn't work, and there's no regrets. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, Kelli, you definitely left your mark on this game, and I still see you as one of the greatest legends in Australian Survivor. Like, while it might have been
100%.
just a short Premier run,
I said
like,
I went in with a bang, and I left with a bang, and that's what I always knew I was going to do. You know, I never expected to win this game. I knew that what my place was there, and my place was to create some chaos, and I did. And you know, if I happened to win during that process, well, that would have been great. But yeah, I just wanted to leave with as big a bang as I could. And you know, Ray's the most beautiful man in the world, and if anyone ever says otherwise, they just have no clue. And he gave me a shirt when I was freezing cold, and that warmth is why I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, the warmth is more than just it's about friendship, and I think that's what this game has left me with, some beautiful friends. And yeah, forever that will be in my heart. So
I mean, there's the thing is like the game's the game. It's a very stressful thing. It's a very psychological thing. But if someone's struggling in the college, there's more to the game than the game sometimes.
I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously in that Elvis costume. I'm sorry.
You have a suspicious mind.
Like I don't know which is funnier, him sitting in like the background and it's kind of like a shadow, or him like up close so you can see the full thing.
No, when he comes right in on the screen, I'm like, Jesus. But he's got a spotlight coming in from behind him, but I keep looking at his chest hair.
Well, you won't get to look at me for too much longer. I think my phone's about to die. It's overheating, apparently, so I might just disappear for a little bit.
I need to know if the chest hair is real or if you've got something black down there. Like, what is that? He can't even hear me. Now he looks like a 70 star.
That's a perfect freeze frame right there as well. I do love the freeze frame, Raymond. But we do move into the merge section of this game, and I do just want to fast forward a wee bit to the Eden Tribal Council, and I'll start with you, Valeria, because I feel like this was a huge vote for all you guys, where you have this massive feud with Caroline and Kitty throughout the start of the merge, and obviously Mark and Eden are trying their hardest to bring all the Titans together. Were you reluctant to having the Titans come back together, or were you like, no, this is something that needs to happen?
In that moment, I remember just for that night specifically, we promised Caroline and Kitty to vote together. Not necessarily working with Eden, because we didn't see Eden going with a plan later in the game. It didn't seem like it would facilitate me or Mark, or especially my side. So that particular vote, we were just going ahead with to support Caroline Kitty, saying that we are back on track. Let's start from zero and build the relationships then. All we're trying to do was just like building it up now, because we're going to flip again in a couple of more votes later on in tribal councils. That was the plan. So with the Eden vote, it was actually a beautiful, magical moment that happened to us, because when me and Mark realized it, that literally it just takes one person to swap the vote and then Eden would be out of the game, both of us intentionally decided not to do it with our hands. But then we had Jaden done the angel's work for all of us. That kind of weakened the Kitty's and Caroline's game. So deep in heart, we were happy with Mark, because we didn't know how to approach them, because we tried to shoot it and it didn't work. So we couldn't do it again. So Jaden kind of did it on his end. And then I remember even production, like everyone was so confused. I remember the cameras in front of us was like going different directions, because usually you can see how smoothly, like you can barely see them. It's like, it's very hidden and like very far from you. But I remember that moment, I could feel the cameramen were like struggling to refocus on who's actually leading. So it was very unpredictable for anyone in that moment, which I think made this tribal council very different from anyone else. Usually you would know where the votes would go, of course, outside of like having twists. But that particular night was something that no one expected. And obviously no one really spoke to Jaden about it anyway. So it was really like on the spot decision that we felt, for Mark and me, was a good one, because we couldn't play how we wanted that night, because we tried, it just never worked. So I was like, let's not risk it now. We burned all the bridges. Let's just keep it the same way. And then Jaden made his big move.
Yeah, well, Feras, something that I love so much about this tribal council is you and Kirby just sussing everyone out. You're hearing what they're saying during tribal council. You're reading the body language, and on the spot you say, let's go for Eden. Was Eden someone who you're like really wanting to go after, or was it just like the first name that came out of your mouth?
No, well, Eden was the clear mastermind of that side. He was really seen as like the brains of the entire season. To be out of anyone else in the cast, I think people were most scared of Eden's knowledge of the game and his strategy. So I think it was very clear that he was sort of leading that vote from the get-go. And I thought if we're going to start, Kelli, you good?
It's they are like
right?
on this like the Queensland where all the parks are. I'm with the noises with the water.
Can say just before the live as well, it literally sounded like there was a hurricane coming from
literally.
I don't know what's happening with Rebels tonight, but they're really dropping us.
They're all over the place. They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, right. I'll drop Kelli out until the camera comes back on.
So I think he was. I pretty much said, look, if we're gonna fire at one of the Titans, we might as well fire at someone that's clearly driving the plans and someone that's a big enough player. So we sort of focused on Eden, because we knew the entire time that he was sort of whispering in all the years, and we just didn't want to have someone as dangerous as that still be that deep into the game. So it was sort of like it seems like he came up with the plan, let's go for him, sort of thing. So
Eden was the only player I actually couldn't read properly. Like I really struggle with him. So I never liked him in the game, because I could never figure what is his plan, what he actually wants to do. And I know Eden been trying to go on Survivor for the past 9 years in Australia. He went applying for green card in America, trying to get to Survivor there. And he knows about game in and out and everything. So he was very scary, intimidating as a player, and you can't read him either. So it's like it was the hardest one for me to like deal with, because I just couldn't figure out what's going on in his head. So it's he's definitely one of the masterminds.
Yeah, gotta say, I only recently found out about that he tried getting a green card in America to go and play Survivor. And, this poor, lonely New Zealand soul, if any of you guys want to help a fellow brother out, you know exactly what to do. But I'd love to hear though, what happens, Feras, if Raymond goes home this episode? So if Raymond goes, it's you, Kirby, Eileen, Alex, and Rihanna. What's the move here? Is it like Rebel Strong trying to overcome the Titans, or do you reckon it still kind of falls apart with Kirby sniping, etc.?
Honestly, like for me, if Ray goes home, my aim is to sort of win one of the Titans over. And honestly, my best chance probably would have been Mark or even Val. To be honest, I feel like at that point we could have sort of turned over a new leaf, her and I, if that was the case. Because look, if Val can go and vote with Caroline again, then anything can happen at that point. So that sort of,
myself.
yeah. So that sort of gave me a bit of hope as well that Valeria can definitely turn over a new leaf. But yeah, no, I think that would be the plan moving forward, to just sort of reassess, shake hands, be like, great game, and just approach Valeria or Mark with a plan, spicy enough to sort of back Caroline in the moment. So I think that would be the next steps.
Yeah, well, speaking of what happens if Raymond goes, what happens if he comes back? Because this time he's not Elvis.
That was too fucking hot. That was too fucking hot in that fucking costume.
Ray. We love you, Ray.
Can I say, Raymond, I completely understand, because I'm like you. I've got a lot of hair. I'm like half Sasquatch, right? And ironically, I have a Sasquatch outfit, and quite often for horror night, especially at one of my jobs is I work at a sensory maze, so I like chase people throughout the maze. One time I took the mask off and everything went white.
I thought you were going to say like the people were more scared or something. I took off my mask and they screamed more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would have been more beautiful, but no. But I love your commitment to being Elvis, though, and I just want to say I really appreciate all the effort you brought into it.
Anymore. I just couldn't. It's too hard.
Ray knows all the old music, Mucky. Ray knows everything. He's got such great taste in music. He was listening to stuff from the 60s, and I was like, what? I don't know any of that crap. And then he made me listen to some of this stuff, and it's good.
I've never heard a song in my entire life. Anyway, what are we talking about? What part of the show were we talking about?
Well, we were just talking about Eden's Blindside, but I was actually going to segue into, which is perfect timing.
Eden is one of the all-time great. Definitely.
Ray, let the man finish his sentence.
Look, I know it's called Mucky Productions, but it's your show tonight, guys.
5 minutes to catch up on that I disappeared from. I need a very good social player. He needs to come back.
100%. And I do just want a quick segue into your phenomenal advantage, Raymond, where you find it in the popcorn, where basically it's an idol, but only if every single person votes for you. And I remember during the podcast with like Chris Coon and Tom, I was like, there's no way that anyone would actually try this out except for you.
Listen,
and lay it all out. What was your thought process? Having the advantage, is this exactly how you wanted to play it?
Okay.
What was it go?
Well, there's a lot of layers to it. I'm very much a numbers person. I can see numbers in my head. So first thing is because it says this thing expires in the next 3 tribals or something like that. It doesn't say. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say like from the 10th person left, the 9th person left, and the 8th person left or stuff like that. It just says the next 3 tribals. My first plan is let the thing expire, let someone else find it, then they try and play it, and they're like, this thing's expired, and they look like an idiot. That's my first plan. Second plan is you need to look at the numbers. You need to look at every single person who's out there that can beat you at the game. And at that period, because I'm someone that's not very fit, I can't bring many things to group challenges compared to a lot of these buff people. I've been playing a very submissive game, not ruffling any feathers, not really doing anything. which is very much being like I am compared to these other people. It's not very viable in the early games of Survivor, but when you're getting into the late stages of Survivor, where there are physical threats that can beat people in the last challenges, it suddenly becomes an advantage. It means that you can basically do whatever you want, as long as it's not in people's itinerary to get rid of you, you can kind of get away with anything. So, but either way, I had played a very, very, not a very abrasive game, not a game where people thought that I was really doing much. So at that period in time, there were a bunch of people that could have beaten me at the game. And I realized that. So when you're at that period, you have to do something big. And if you're not doing something big, then like, what are you doing? It's like Survivor. So I went for it after that because I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't actually think that move was going to work. But I thought that it would be really funny. And I thought that what was going to happen was it was just going to be me lying in the sand looking like an idiot while the whole rest of the episode plays out around me, and then occasionally it just zooms back on me like with a big dodo sound, and I'm sounding like an actual idiot. But
it was fun to watch, Ray.
That was the idea. I genuinely thought it was going to be like the whole rest of the episode's going. It's like, okay, people are actually trying to get rid of X instead or something. It's just that it just occasionally zooms back in on me just lying there with like, wow, dumb trumpet. But yeah, no, it somehow worked. And I thought it was going to be at challenges. It just zooms in. It's like, I just thought it would be really funny. And I thought that if I did a move like that, then it would be memorable enough for me to be brought back for maybe an all-star season, because like, oh, look, it's that idiot. So like much fun. I wanted to call myself the Eric Reichenbach of Australian Survivor. That was the whole idea. I want to be the Eric Reichenbach of Australian Survivor, the dumbest move in history where he gives away his idol. This is the dumbest move in Survivor history. This guy's like trying to do this thing that's not going to have a hope in hell of working. And I genuinely didn't think it was going to work, but it did. And yeah.
It did. I think also you needed Feras. You needed a partner in crime
very
to
much
actually
so.
facilitate the other side of it. And it just worked really well because you were both playing it so well. And at one point, I'm like, Ray's lying on the ground. Feras, say something to somebody right now, quick. Like, but he did so well. And you both like pulled it off. And I'm thinking, and I'm also always thinking, does Valeria still hate you for this?
No, wait, there are three factors. Like now let's listen to the expert, the one who suffered.
Yeah, exactly.
There are three things that made this move, Raymond's move, work. First is Feras, acting skills. Second is Scotty just left before that with a mental situation that we had to let him go. Which put me in a very awkward position because it just happened and it was very well supported by everyone. So going against the humanity and doing something in a kind of bad way puts you like as a bad person. And third is Mark that told me this not to do because I pulled Mark. Because I can see Feras is like trying to be like next to me and Mark, like just to make sure the conversation is all the same. And I remember I was talking to Mark. I was like, listen, it might be really brutal. I'm so sorry. But man, Scotty just threw me under the bus telling Kitty and like, well, we're playing. Like it's almost the end of the game. Like there's no time to make all these moves. Like we can just drag this guy for a couple of days. Like he's already dying. Like hey, it's a game. Like I honestly believe like you going into this game, you can't handle your shit. Like one person already left. Like you're next. Let's not play the same game. You go suffer whatever days we need for you to suffer. Let us play a little bit. It's the Survivor game.
This is why I knew. Sorry to cut you off, Valeria, but this is why I knew Valeria was going to be one of the most difficult people to sort of go along with all this, because Valeria fucking lives in Russia. She would just tell you to toughen up.
We don't believe in therapy. We don't believe in anxiety. There is no thing existed when you stress. There's no mental prep or anything. You just have to do what you have to do. So like me and Mark, I was like, let's do something. And he looked at me, he was like, you know what Feras is going to do to us? Imagine if Feras in the jury or something, Feras will kill us. And I was like, so what? And he was like, but people gonna hate you. I was like, it's a game. It's a game. He was like, no. I'm not gonna go against Feras. It's gonna be messy. I see red flags. And he was like, I'm in diplomacy. I'm diplomat. Like you don't do this, like things like this. And I was like, and I'm Russian. I was like, man, you never worked it out. So I remember, like, I was forced into this move. I was sitting and I was hating the whole thing. And I was like, man, and I'll never forget about the popcorn that you bought for $400. I didn't know how, like, the whole thing would actually mean everything for me, because for sure I will never forget it. Do you think I like popcorn after this? Not really.
I mean, even in Australia versus the world, Kirby goes for the popcorn. You know, in the auction. That's how much of an impact your advantage had, Raymond.
I didn't think it was going to work. It was stupid. I can't believe it happened.
Yeah, I mean, Valeria, how were you feeling heading off to Jury Villa after this move? Like, were you like really pissed off? Were you like happy because it was a great move? Like, how were you sort of feeling?
No, I like to play and I like a fair game. So I enjoyed it. Like, from the second that happened, I felt super relieved, because I knew I'm out of the game now. Like, I can concentrate on other things. Jury Villa, there's many more exciting things as a part of the whole journey of Survivor. At that point, I was excited because I kind of had all the milestones that you reach into the game. So as a person, I felt really good. And as a game, it's a fair game. Like, you play how you can and you survive how you can. So I've done my part and I've done my play. I don't think I could have done better out of the situation. If I look back to see what I could have done better, I don't think I would have been able to manipulate the situation. Of course, like changing one vote, yes, but I don't think I would play differently. Like, if people say, "Oh, I learned my mistakes and stuff," I learned my mistakes from all the other relationships and alliances that I tried to build. Anything else, but in that particular situation, I think I've done everything I could. And then I felt absolutely fine after. Like, even my interview, like, just because they take you straight after the interview, the production were not happy that I was just fine about it. They said, "Val, like, you're Russian. What are you going to do about it?" I was like, no. I said, it's a cool play. It's a game. I was a part of it and I was played. Like, that's the end. The way I got voted out was different in the game. So it's something to be something that you can come back with into the game later. So I knew I had a really good hook into my personal game. So I didn't feel anything. I know, like, I think Raymond think like I hate him or whatever. I just
make jokes about it, but
but like, not even like a little bit of any sort of there's no negativity around it. It's a game, and I love the game. I love competition. I like when everyone trying their best. So I appreciate the game in that sense.
The thing
Raymond,
is,
just really quick, so Survivor Twist just wants to ask, why did you vote for Valeria? Like, what was the main reason?
I'm glad that question comes up, because this is the reason. Number one, I didn't think it was going to work, but like, to play a good game of Survivor, I think that you need to assess why everyone is there. There are people that love Survivor that want to play a good game. There are people that boost their social media following.
I'm feeling you. Listening.
But there's all these people that are out there for certain reasons, and I see Valeria and I'm like, this is a model. This is a person that probably owns a business, a modeling agency. She is there to promote her business, and I thought that because, and like, I could admit that I'm wrong. Like, when I found out that she's like, no, she loves this stuff in this game. So a completely different way. But I thought that she was trying to sell like a product. I thought that if she was on Jury Villa, she would look fantastic. She'd be able to sell whatever it is she does. And that was her reason for being out there. And I hope that doesn't sound sexist, but I thought that was her goal, to look great on Jury Villa and do all that stuff. So that was the way I was going for. That's why I went for Valeria, because it's arguably a sneaky move. I thought that when I explained it that way, if I made it to the very end, then Valeria would vote for me. Like, I thought that it was a good argument, and it then shows also a lot more of my morals. I can use that to get more votes. It's just everything adds up to Valeria. Plus, she's also someone that wasn't voting with me, but Yeah, I genuinely thought that I was more doing like something on the good move because
Yeah. Well, I guess fast forwarding.
Wait, no, I want to hear
Okay,
what Valeria says
after you go.
because I have realized that I'm wrong post this, but no, that's what I genuinely thought while I was out there.
It's okay. I forgive you, child.
Child.
It makes sense though. It makes sense to me. I'm literally like, okay, this person's out here for this. This person's out there for that. This person's out here for this because you need to do all that stuff to assess how sneaky people are going to be. Like Kitty's not going to be backstabbing people or trying to look bad on TV. She makes like 8 figures. $500,000 is nothing to her. She's out there.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Wait, what is she
Okay,
like?
Ray, let's move on. Move on.
But that's why she's out there. Everyone's out there for different reasons, and you need to assess those reasons to play a good game of Survivor. Eden's a big fan of the game of Survivor, so he's going to be playing more of a sneaky game. He's going to be doing things that try and make big moves. Eileen's going to be making big moves. Other people out there you don't have to worry about as much, like Sarah and all those things. You need to assess where everyone's out there.
Yeah. Well, I guess just skipping a wee bit ahead to the final 5, which was another huge episode of the season, and Feras and Raymond, once again, you guys were the stars of this episode by planting your old idol Feras and getting Raymond to find it in front of Caroline and Mark. Like, I love that moment. But as you say, Raymond found it too fast. What was that moment like for you, watching all that happen, knowing that was fully out of your control?
I watched that whole thing unfold, and the way Ray found it, I'm surprised that they caught on to that they didn't catch on to it, actually.
Why does everyone underestimate me? I know human behavior. I know how to act that makes people think these ways.
I was watching the whole thing unfold, and he didn't even he looked around for about 10 seconds until he went to the first tree that he saw, and then he took it out. I was like, I really hope that these guys are desperate enough to believe that. But it worked, to be honest. It was all just, as long as that they saw the physical thing, I don't think it really would have mattered, because at that point in the game, you're that desperate and you're that paranoid about everything that if you see something with your own eyes, you're going to believe it, regardless of how good someone's acting is or not. And
that's not it.
Really, and okay, go for it. Tell me.
Human behavior is like this. So basically, if people are trying to do something that's fake, they usually try and show it off. They try and go, oh, I found an idol, woohoo! Just wave it around in the air, do all this stuff to make people believe that they've had it. That's how the average person acts. The way that I grab that idol is I just walk away. I don't make a big deal about it, do all this stuff. And then I make Mark believe that I've done this, because Mark's thinks in his mind, he goes, oh, I've seen something. Oh, I've caught on to this. I've caught on to the fact that Raymond's acting a little bit suspicious. That's what made her believe it. It wasn't. It wasn't.
So it's right. It's similar to when I had my thing in my pants, and Feras, remember, I was with my shells in my pants.
Yeah,
and I was being quiet. I was kind of pretending I was being quiet about it. So Ray, that's what you're trying to say, is that
it was,
when you're acting like you don't want people to know, people then will believe you. Correct.
Yeah, that's just how it is. That's what made them believe it. It's the fact that I wasn't trying to make people believe that I had it. I just was acting a little bit suspicious. I was just acting a little bit funny. Then you make them believe it.
So you did your method of acting like my method of acting, Ray?
Yeah, a bit. I learned from the best.
Yeah, that's right. Kel's method of acting. All I remember is Feras going, Kel, it's enough. It's enough now. I think they're convinced.
Yeah,
I didn't have to do any work. I just Mark just came up to me and was like, "You found it, haven't you?" I'm like, just acting weird. It's just
but I think what really was the key factor to all of that was actually the parchment, because nobody in their right mind would sort of question why someone would keep parchment with their idol unless it's a newfound idol. When I found the idol on day 9 or something, I remember hiding the parchment under that same rock. So when we came back to that same beach and remembering, you know what, we do have a bit more props to use that can sort of solidify it. Whereas it's not just him finding an idol without any parchment, because that wouldn't have told him that he found it then and there. But I think adding the parchment to it sort of really solidified, oh, holy crap, he literally just found the idol, which I think was a huge factor to sort of solidifying everything. So Ray could have, you know, really messed with their mind as much as he wanted, but as long as that parchment was there, that was to solidify that he found it in the moment, which I think was a huge sell.
Mistrust must have been so high at that point, though. Mistrust is so high. So, you know, everyone's suspicious. Everyone's like, must be, you know, so paranoid. So,
yeah, I think it's just like the thing that made Feras and I a good team is I think we covered like every single base whenever we tried to do a move. It's like every single little thing. Feras had half of like the little things that are needed to do, and I had the like these other like little things that the average person do.
Yeah, well, Feras, I'd love to know, how close were you to playing your idol on Kirby at the final 5? Obviously, it was quite a huge decision on whether or not to take Kirby towards the end, or were you like, no, I have to figure out now?
I think, look, I'll be honest, I didn't have plans sitting next to her at the end. I think she would have had me 100%. I think she built so many incredible relationships. When I looked at that jury, I was like, I don't think I do have it if I did sit next to Kirby in the end. My main thing was, is keeping her or getting rid of her going to ruin my game or help excel my game? That's what it came down to. It was never an intention to sort of save her to sort of sit next to her at the end. It was to sort of, should I save her so she can definitely win the next challenge, so we can definitely get out Mark, and worst comes to worst, me, Kirby, and Ray are at the end, and hopefully me or Ray can beat Kirby, and we can get rid of her in that sense. But it's also the fact that what if she just keeps winning in the end, and she sort of just goes on this streak, and she was on this streak. So it was just a matter of, okay, what is the best sort of path moving forward, because Kirby is really going to dictate whether or not I could possibly win this whole thing. You know, if I keep her and she backstabs me in the end, or let's say she doesn't backstab me, let's say I have no choice but to sit next to Kirby in the end, then I'm not going to win. It's as simple as that. So we were sort of doing an all or nothing sort of thing. So it's either just get rid of the threat now and just pray for the best, see if you can make it to the end, or keep Kirby with you, but if she makes it to the end, she's going to smoke you. Like, it's as simple as that. So I think that's what it came down to. And it was like, look, this is my only shot at Kirby. I can sort of use this idol, put on a bit of a show, make a bit of a speech, pitch to the jury, use it to my advantage a bit more, hopefully win the next challenge, and hopefully, you know, get the best, you know, trio in the final end game. So when I didn't play it for her and she got out, and the next day I sort of lost that challenge against Mark, it was just like, well, I definitely made the wrong decision, because Kirby definitely could have won that. I would have been safe. I probably would have beaten her in a challenge at the end, because it's endurance. So my whole world like sort of came crashing down when I lost that challenge. But I think, it was a really, really hard decision for me, only because it could have made or broke my game. I didn't really have an intention to sit next to her at the end, unfortunately. Like, as close as I got with her, like, I didn't starve myself for this long just so I could give a game, you know, to Kirby. I wanted to sort of fight for it in the end. So I banked on myself, and thankfully it was sort of the right move. But at that point, Mark was my biggest threat after that, and it was just a matter of if I could beat Mark or not. I knew in the end I could probably definitely beat Kirby in an endurance challenge, because all the previous endurance challenges, I made sure I knew who I could beat during an endurance challenge and who I couldn't. And Kirby I always did beat, but Mark and I were always very close in terms of beating one another. So it was a matter of either possibly beat Kirby in the last challenge and, you know, get a win, or lose to Mark and just, you know, have a Mark and Caroline final too. So it was sort of that, it was weighing out so many different factors that I had to think about. But in the end, you know, it was probably the best decision for my game.
Yeah, well, it might have been the best decision for your game, but it wasn't really that great for poor old Raymond, you know, who had to go up out in the fire in the next round against Caroline. And Raymond, like, with actual experience now in a fire making challenge, I feel like it's actually like, I mean, obviously it's way harder than what us fans get to see. But what is it like in that moment with like the pressure? You know, you have to beat the other person. Like, what's sort of going through your head?
Well, honestly, I was pretty stressful. I wasn't very good at many of the challenges, period. But I mean, come on, I never thought that I was going to make it to 4th anyway, so I was grateful. And like, I think that if you go into Survivor actually practicing every single day at fire, then you're really missing the overall picture because it's such a small element. And like, even at making fire, there's a 50% chance that it's not going to be you doing it. So, it's whatever. It's something I couldn't have planned for. It's something I didn't plan for because I was so focused on the other aspects. It's a shame.
Did you practice?
It's whatever.
Did you practice fire at home before you left?
I did, but Caroline, I believe, has a fire pit, and I was working full time at the time anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. I was more again. There's a 50% chance if you make it to Final 4, if it's actually implemented, that's going to be you doing it. There's so many more things that go on. There's like so there's a 50% chance there on top of the fact that it's like 24 people that you're going to make it that far. Just the numbers don't work out for actually working on fire compared to all the other skills that you can do. I'm probably the only person who's played Survivor that actually says that, because they all focus on, I've been practicing fire, I've been practicing this. Go read a psychology book or something else. It's way more important. Go learn human behaviors. Go learn that stuff. It's way more important than having the off chance that you're going to be making fire, especially when it's not implemented on Australian Survivor.
Well, here's a great compliment. You are Australia's Malcolm.
Thank you. That's a great compliment. Firmly, I want to be Australia's Eric Reichenbach, but I'll take Malcolm. I need to show up in the bold and the beautiful next then.
Yeah, well, Raymond, have you practiced making fire, or are you going to pull a Sari and just keep on losing at fire making challenges?
I don't think I'm going to be asked back for Survivor, but no, there's no point in practicing for fire. I'm telling you, there's absolutely no point compared to the other things that you can better yourself at. You can go to the gym, you can work on your body so you can win that challenge to not have to go to fire. It's way more important than the odd chance of actually going to fire. It doesn't work out numbers-wise. There's no points. But I did practice before going out there. I didn't practice at all while on the islands, actually working the flinch or anything, because I was awful at it. Everyone's cranky and angry out there. So if I accidentally damage the flint, or I'm the reason why someone can't make fire, I'm more in danger of going home than other people. It just, mathematically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, Feras, huge moment for you. You win the Final 3 individual immunity challenge. How are you feeling at the end of that? You know, the odds are stacked against you 2-1. It's your first individual immunity win, apart from, you know, when the challenge was rigged for you to win against Charles. What's going through your head in this moment, bro?
I remember being in like such shock because going into that, I knew I was going to have a bit of an issue with my shoulder. I had so many issues with my shoulder throughout the entire game. I think in the first week I popped it out. I had to go to the hospital, so I knew like
day 11.
My shoulder.
No, it was day 7 or day 8.
The challenge that Alex tried to throw.
Yeah, day 7 or day 8. Wait, no.
So I knew, something like that. But I knew it was going to give me a lot of grief. But I think that the biggest driving factor was I knew like this is how I put it in my head. If I step down, I'm losing $500,000. If I don't, I'm winning $500,000. Like that's literally just how I put it in my head. It's as simple as that. So I think that sort of overcame any sort of pain that I went through. And honestly, a lot of it is mind games, especially when you're up there for so long. You know, showing that you're not really that affected, or showing that you are affected, could be a massive driving factor whether the other person wins or not. And I think in the end, it just came down to upper body strength. You know, being on one peg, when they had to make us stand on one peg, it just came down to upper body. And thankfully, you know, I could have held myself a bit longer, but kudos to Caroline. Like, she gave me such a run for my money, and a lot of it is mind games, honestly. So once I did step down and that all, you know, folded out the way it did, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, because I could decide my fate. I could decide who I was going to sit next to. I could literally control my game from there. And I think, it was a big and powerful moment. It was honestly one of the most special moments special moments to me. It was awesome. It was like, I can't even explain in that moment, like winning something. Like I've never really won too many things. So like going through that and like always falling short of challenges, it felt really, really good to win, the most important one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Valeria, I'd love to hear from you, I guess just sitting on the jury. When you saw the Feras won individual immunity at the final 3, was the consensus to vote for Feras to win? Or was there maybe like an argument for Caroline or for Mark to potentially win?
Well, I don't know if actually we're allowed to say this. Actually, It's been 2 years now. But like all of us as a team, we all went straight away for Feras. We couldn't compare or really see someone playing a better game. So all of us were 100% that we're going for Feras. However, the production came back to us and they told us, guys, give it a fair go to everyone. Like, get more questions to Mark, give more questions to Caroline. You can't just make a decision without giving them a shot to see how they play the game. Because all of us were like, no, like this is very simple. Like, we're just going into the facts and how everything was played out. It's very obvious. But the production said, no, like, step back. If you look at this game, because also you haven't been on every day from both tribes, so you don't know actually what's going on. So we took it back. I was like, okay, you know what? You guys right. Let us go back. Let us prepare questions, and maybe we'll make this decision while we're there. We really tried, honestly. Where the questions that we got asked for prepared for Caroline, like the production, everyone was helping us to make sure we get all the answers and we can lay it out in front of us to make a decision for each of us. But still, like Mark, Caroline, Feras' speech. And I feel like because Feras is really good with people, he's got really good people skills, which I think is a blessing. It's a separate skill to it. The way he puts his speech and the way he gets across person, regardless of what was in the game, he doesn't leave a bad taste in your mouth. He's really good like this. So I feel like even just that separate skill to have as a winner is good enough. So you play your game, you can do whatever you want, you can pull some games, but if you leave a bad taste in the mouth, how can you get people to vote for you and to see you as a winner? Because it's a big move. You pretty much a part of the idea that you're giving someone else so much money, so you feel like you're empowered by like making this big decision. But this one was very clear. Me and Feras, we didn't really play the game together, and it was like back and forth, and a lot of things happened between us. But in that moment, there was no one doubt in my head, knowing that he'd done this game and he played it really well. It was a smart way, and even once you're on the jury side, you still have full support from our end to see him as a winner of the game. So it wasn't hard, honestly. It wasn't hard at all. Yeah, I know they're trying to play this game like who's gonna win. I'm sitting there.
But you know what? They did that really well. I think that was probably the best thing that production could have done, because I remember, walking into that tribal with so much confidence that, I got this in the bag. I know I can I know what I've done. People have seen what I've done. Like, I felt like I wasn't going to really work too hard for it, but man, did they make me work. And when Valeria was just like, I'm not happy. I'm like, God, this girl's going to be the end of my existence.
It's good because we all still supported Feras, but then I can see because everyone said, prepare your questions, go hard and stuff, but everyone was still going for Feras. Everyone kind of was like laid back. So I could see the production and I'm like, I'm not happy. And everyone's not. I was like, oh, why?
She wanted me to work. Yeah, she wanted me to work.
Production was working with us, trying to make us like ask them a question and make it work for the guys as well, so they can feel a bit of sense of like tension. But yeah, it was very weird how they tried to do it for you. Like I could only imagine how you felt like going through this and seeing all these changes. But it was funny how you can really manipulate people's mind and brain to not knowing what's the final outcome.
Yeah, well, Feras, you obviously win unanimously $500,000, which once again, congratulations. I've said it many, many times again. I feel like your game is very underrated in a lot of ways, where you've got your players like the Davids, for example, who have all the big flashy moves. But every time I think about your game, I just think of all the great social moves you made by like telling people you had an idol, but never showing you had an idol. So there's always that looming question sort of around you whether or not if you had an idol or not. And I feel like it was small stuff like that I think that's just so impressive and great to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mucky. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I take that all back. I was just trying to be nice just for that one.
Come on, Mucky. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Just an ego hit.
No, and obviously we chatted about it when we grabbed dinner as well, where this season for me is such a weird season because with every other season of Survivor,
who paid for the dinner?
Oh, it was the man who won $500,000, right? It was
okay. I'm not going to dinner with you then, Mucky.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm with like half a millionaire, a professional salesman, and I'm a retail worker. All right, like give the dog a bone. It's charity.
Mucky.
Yeah, it's charity. Actually, I do feel really bad still for. I thought I broke your car door. Yurika, when you like dropped me off, and I thought I broke your car. Like it was just like stuck, and I was like, "Oh shit, have I broken your door?" But thankfully, it was fine. But anyways, we chat about it. It's like your season because obviously we got to connect a lot. Like like Kelli, we chatted a wee bit. Raymond, we interacted a wee bit. Obviously, everything with Eileen. Like I say all the time, I adore Eileen, and the flute song I made for her is still one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I'll take that with me to the grave. But like I feel like this season was just even more fun, just getting to know you guys along the way and stuff. And yeah, you all did a phenomenal job.
Well, we had a ball, didn't we, everyone? We had the best fun.
Was Scott supposed to be on here tonight?
Yeah, well, it's a really funny story with Scott actually, because I reached out to him, he said he was keen, and then I was like, all right, we're doing it this time. And then he saw the message maybe like a few hours ago. I was like, "Oh shit, he's probably not gonna make
That's
it."
a shame. I wanted him to actually have a chance to talk about his game because he was like one of the. Oh, you go.
So was it?
Yeah, go Valeria.
No. So I was saying Scotty doesn't check his social pages. If you reach out to him on Instagram, most likely get response in a couple of days.
Yeah. Which is why I'm so thankful to all of you for responding straight away. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I really would love Scott to have the chance to just show his social side because he played at such a good social game out there, and I think that due to the way that he left, it wasn't shown. But he is so clever. He is so turned on with the game. It's a shame. I wish he would have had a chance to show just how brilliant he is at the game, and like, it's a shame.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Michelle, we've finally done it.
Finally.
11 seasons, 11 weeks. Are you sick of me at this point?
Months. It
has been months.
It's stressful.
Yeah. Are you sick of me at this point?
This has been the best one, I think, with having all, so many cast members here. It's been lots of fun. And, being our number one season, we love this season. We love the cast. And
yes.
You know what? Yes. I think I've seen more of this cast than any other cast at watch parties. They're lots of fun to be around. I did have one question for Feras because actually, I have two. On Sydney radio, you are called Feras.
Yeah.
Are you Feras? Or Feras?
That's how you say my name in Arabic, Feras. In English,
so.
Yeah.
I've got someone similar with a similar name, and I was wondering why everyone called you Feras on Survivor. Did you not correct them, or you just ran with it?
No. That's how I introduce myself, just as Feras. But when it's with like really close family and friends, they say my name in Arabic. It's Feras.
Right, because on Sydney radio, I'm thinking, well, all these people are knowing you as Feras, and have we all been saying it wrong? Have we all been being disrespectful?
No.
Other question: when you got out and you'd won, you ate a lot of sushi, like every day. Have you slowed down with that now, or are you still enjoying the sushi?
I still love my raw foods. I love my sashimi. I love my sushi. I love it all. I can't stop eating it. You always catch me at Bondi eating some sort of a raw fish here and there. So still obsessed.
Do you catch it straight from the ocean?
Feras, remember when we tried to go fishing and we caught a croc?
Yeah. You caught my croc. Yeah.
We couldn't catch any fish, so no fresh seafood for Feras.
No, not at all.
Well, unfortunately, this does bring us to the end of the podcast. And once again, I just want to say thank you all so much. Like, Valeria, it was so lovely again to meet you. Honestly, I met all of you at Kirby's watch party for the first time. It's just so special and so lovely to actually get to meet and hang out with all of you. You guys were all super amazing to me. I was actually nervous as fuck, honestly, actually getting to meet everyone. I was drinking so much to try and calm it, but all yous made me feel so much at home. And Raymond, thank you for letting me touch Nathan's jacket.
It's not Nathan's jacket. The real one's in Caroline's closet, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, never mind then. Well, a replica of it. I still felt like I saw a god for the first time with that jacket. So thank you.
When you leave Survivor, Mucky,
hey, Feras, he bought it for me.
Hey, Mucky, when you leave Survivor, production says welcome to the Survivor family. And I think that's a very important thing to note here, that once you've been on Survivor, it is like being part of a family. And I think it's people like you guys, you fans and podcasters, that actually help us feel like it's a family as well. So I think without all of you, I don't think it would quite feel the same. So I want to say thank you.
You were family.
Pardon?
Did they say you were family? They said to me, Raymond, you will never be anything more than the unwanted stepchild. Well, I got voted out.
They said, welcome to the Survivor family. I didn't even know what that meant, right, until I got off the island, and then it was on TV because, I clearly haven't watched really Survivor, so I had no clue. But then when I started realizing, I was like, oh, my gosh, there's all these people, all these nerds out there that love Survivor. So I call that the Survivor family because that's what they said to me. So I just want to say thank you to all the Survivor fans out there, because obviously it would not be production without you. So, thank you again for doing this podcast, and Michelle for your page, because without it, like I said, there'd be nothing.
Yeah, Michelle's put in a lot of effort on Facebook.
Thanks. Yeah, it's about to start again. Aussie Survivor and Season 50 US, I think they're starting in the same week, so it's going to be busy. And I've met one of the contestants on the new season, and she is so much like you, Kelli. I think she's going to be absolutely chaos. She's from Queensland as well, and I can't wait to see if she steps up to your level.
Exciting.
Great. Well, we need a bit more hurricane and chaos on Survivor, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we really do.
Guys.
We do.
But just before we end things off, Valeria, where can people find you? Have you got any special projects or anything like that you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Oh, I didn't pay for the marketing. That's what it sounds like.
So this is my way to try and get you to pay me. I force you into promoting yourself. All right, that'll be $20, mate. Yeah.
I've got a few things happening for 2026. I'm a head of marketing, so we've got really cool studio space that I interior design myself. So there will be some cool projects there. But I'm back on doing dance classes in a couple of months, in case Feras want to join us. all girls with classes stuff. So there's a few things, but I'm pretty sure if people follow me on Instagram, there will be some updates. We'll
make something work.
Yeah, I've tagged all of your Instagrams in the description of this podcast as well. So if you ever want to follow these beautiful, handsome geezers, make sure you check out the Instagrams in the description of the podcast. And how about you, Feras? You've also got a radio show with Yaz going on. Any other cool projects coming your way?
Yeah. So, again, we're working on a few side projects that you guys will be seeing in the next couple months, hopefully, mainly more on socials. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Everything's on my Instagram anyway. So that's how I sort of update everyone on whatever it is I'm working on. But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. I guess this year's going to be a cracker of a year, hopefully.
Yeah. And how about you, Raymond?
My socials are at Mr. Beast. Follow me.
Everyone follow Mr. Beast. And how about you, Kelly?
Well, clearly I am a real psychologist. So I actually have a TikTok channel called kel.psychologysecrets. And I actually talk about real psychology issues that affect people. And, you know, I know it's hard to understand in Russia, Valeria, but anxiety is a real condition. And a lot of the world suffer with it. And so I spend a lot of time talking about psychology secrets on TikTok. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do because I love psychology and I love being a psychologist. I love helping people. And
I will subscribe tonight. I will subscribe tonight.
It's like fucking family
better
Christmas. It's like family
Well, Kelly,
Thanksgiving.
Kelly, I am a little bit more team Valeria, team Russian because every time I had a struggle growing up, do you know what my grandparents always told me?
What?
Just take a concrete pill and harden the fuck up. You know, that was the best advice I ever got, and so it's carried with me.
Yeah, well, that's not something we say in psychology, to be honest. People suffer with real conditions, so you know, I mean, parents did bring a lot of people up that way, but you know, everyone's been brought up differently, and people do have genuine mental health issues, and I think we shouldn't just minimize it. And I've spent 34 years helping people through those conditions. Because I love people and I love helping them have a beautiful life. So, you know, that's what I'm still doing. I'm still loving my dog, Bobby, and I'm living in Brisbane now. And hopefully I'll see you soon in Brisbane, Mucky. And you know, Ray eventually will come up and visit me again. And we might do another song, Ray. We might do another song.
What can we parody next?
Well, Rebel Kel was like the best. My voice was so unbelievable, wasn't it, Ray? You just couldn't cope. And Feras helped me with some of the words, which was great. So it was kind of a bit of a joint effort. So even though my voice was horrendous, I think it got the message out there about how awesome Titans versus Rebels were.
Yeah, well, on that bombshell, this is probably my favorite segment.
You're the best person. You're the most entertaining person to play this game, and I'll never not say that.
Thanks, Elvis. I love you too.
Yes, Elvis,
I'll pay you later.
Well, this is my favorite segment of any podcast. Make sure you subscribe for Cheeky Naughty Times. Now, Valeria, Raymond, Kelly, you're all, no. So this is the segment on the show where we share anything. No, I'm not saying spread your asshole. No, it's not happening. There's nothing true. But basically, so with this segment, we share something that we've done this week. It's either cheeky and or naughty. Now, it can be as far as OnlyFans to wearing Thursday socks on a Sunday. It can be as wild or as crazy as it is. But I'll start with you, Michelle. What is one thing cheeky and or naughty you've done this week?
God. I watched a Korean drama, which actually is nominated for a lot of awards. And I suppose I laughed during murder scenes because it's a black comedy. You're not supposed to laugh, but you ended up laughing. So that's naughty, I suppose. It's not cheeky. It was naughty.
Michelle.
Yeah, that's very naughty of you, Michelle. Laughing at people dying. You're a monster.
No Other Choice. It was called No Other Choice?
Yes, Michelle? Correct.
Oh my God, I did the same thing on Sunday and I had no clue and I just laughed through the whole movie because I thought it was just like, I'd never seen anything like it.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, go on. Continue.
Ridiculous.
All right, well, how about you, Feras? What's something cheeky and or naughty you have done this week?
I don't know. I feel like I've been lacking in the cheeky department, to be honest.
No.
I need
you not being cheeky?
No, I know it's weird, right? I've been like maturing in a weird way. I need to think about this one. All I'm thinking about is like not getting caught by speed cameras lately because I've been driving so badly. So that's probably the naughtiest thing I've been doing lately. Driving like a freaking reckless human.
Yeah. And how about you, Raymond? What's something cheeky and or naughty?
I dressed up as Elvis on a podcast.
You know what? That takes the cake. That is very cheeky and naughty of you. And Feras has left. He's like, I've had enough of this. Yeah, and
was that bad?
Yeah. How about you, Valeria? What's something cheeky and or naughty?
No, you know what? I usually behave really well, but I do remember a cheeky moment on Survivor. When me and Lena stole garlic during one of our beautiful Mexican setups that we had, which you're not allowed to because they'll check all your pockets and make sure you've got nothing under you that you could potentially steal. And we got caught really badly. It was really bad. I didn't want to speak to production for like 2 hours. I didn't want to do interviews. I walked with them for like a kilometer away with the worst attitude ever because it was literally like there's such a big difference. Like you have some smells and flavors. So like you can eat garlic, but you can squeeze into the rice, you know, a little bit and have a bit of flavor. I was so excited to have it and I got caught, got busted. You know
they kept blaming me for that?
Pardon?
You know they kept blaming me for that?
No. They knew it's winner.
No, they blamed me like 3 times for that.
For garlic?
Production, like, they're like, Raymond, you need to stop doing that. I'm not doing anything.
No, they knew.
They kept
Raymond, you had so many other problems that would have blamed you. Garlic was not one.
Yeah, the bad smell.
Yeah. And how about you, Kelli? What's something cheeky and or naughty you've been up to?
Well, clearly I'm always cheeky, so that's just a standard. And I'm always a little bit rebellious. So if you ask my partner, he'll just tell you that he has to cope every day with my rebelliousness. So yeah, I just like to push the envelope a little bit because I like to keep things alive. So I can honestly say that I'm always a little bit rebellious. And what I did this week is I put a picture of me as a wrecking ball on my
I saw that,
on my Instagram, and I played Miley Cyrus, and I decided that would be a new good thing for another Survivor thing, that coming in as a wrecking ball. So, you know, Hurricane Chaos, wrecking ball, why the hell not?
Yeah.
So that was my naughty thing I did this week. I was a bit cheeky.
That's very naughty.
Taking the piss out of myself and calling myself a wrecking ball. So yeah.
Nice. Well, something naughty I've been doing is that I'm a chocolate milk fanatic. I love chocolate milk. And I've been doing the math. I probably spend somewhere in the thousands per year. Just chocolate milk, right? Like, and so I've decided that this year I'm going to make my very own chocolate milk. And you would have seen at the start, I took one sip. Absolutely disgusting. Hated it. There's a reason why I only took one sip. I think I added a tad too much cocoa powder. It's just so bitter and disgusting. It was, I just can't get it off my tongue. So I can't wait to end this live. And then I'm just going to stick my tongue under a tap and just rinse it all out. It is absolutely disgusting. But thank you all so much for tuning into this podcast. Once again, Valeria, Rebel Cow, Elvis, Feras, and of course you, Michelle. Thank you so much for this journey. I've had a wonderful time. Kakita no, everyone. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye.